television, even as far as in hospitals. Some people have lost their life due to power surges. Although we currently have surge protectors, I don't think they are enough because we don't usually know when it's working or when it's just there for fancy. That's why we made Aura. Aura doesn't just protect you from electrical surges, it registers it down on Solana and also offer other uses to use and automate your home. Now, how we integrated Solana blockchain. We use blockchain to record each power surge detected, each appliance that was disconnected, or if a human, like a normal a person just go there to disconnect it instead of a power source, it also sends it to Solana for recording. Solana records down voice commands and sensor anomalies. Then our special feature that we use Solana for is we made an NFT in the build number. So whenever you sell Aura, or whenever a person buys Aura, the value doesn't depreciate with time like other technologies. This particular one can grow. It has the unique ownership NFT, tamper-proof identity, transferable ownership, warranty verification, and anti-counterfeit protection. Other benefits are permanent audit trail. In case somebody want to fix something in your house and instead of you to start thinking if you remember every bad electrical mishap that happened, you just go to Solana and check everything that happened there. Transparent protection history, high speed transaction, and extremely low transaction fees. Now we integrated Aleta to do the notification dropping. These are the alert types that we have: critical, major, informational, major, minor for system faults, delay override, frequency anomaly, up to seven of them. We use Edge AI to detect or to predict when the next anomaly is supposed to happen. Your normal search detector doesn't have this feature. It just uses a regular timer. Once it's 5 or 10 seconds, it will turn on. But this particular one detects the pattern, then protects future electrical outbreaks. This is system architecture. The hardware is the ground station. This is what you connect to your house that will be detecting the electrical surges. Then these are swarm bots. This is what to now spread the information or go around the house. Like I need to control your ground station. And the thing has the notification screen on the chest that relays information. And finally, the progressive web app that you can use as master control to override the swarm controls or to manually shut down the whole system. Now we 3D printed our bots after we made Fusion 360 design. We simulated everything, made sure everything was working before we went ahead to build. This is our tech stack. For the front end, we use Next.js, TypeScript, Tailwind. Back end, we use Node.js, Express. Database, we use Superbase. For communication, we use HiveMQ to connect the app to the bot. For monitoring, Aleta. For AI, Edge, TinyML, and CloudML. And the hardware, we use ESP32S3, making use of AI feature that is on it. And for the blockchain, we use Solana and List. This is our team. Before my time is up, let me give you guys a demonstration of what we've done. This is the app. Uh, this is the box. We've tested most of the features. We are already rounding up. Is it monitoring the vote? Finally, for our web app, we
So thank you.
download
I
any.
think we've seen for the we're going with time. So we've seen your project. Alex, you have something to say? I think we'll be going with 3 minutes
Yeah,
each.
it's
Yeah.
actually like pretty interesting project to be honest. I wasn't really like maybe you guys have saved this for the last. I don't know, but I just have a few questions by the way. Um, so when you say you are saving most of this information on chain, right, which is on Solana. How are you doing that? Do you have like a custom program where you are pushing that, or you are saving it how will I call it? You are saving it through this thing, because I saw you saying something around NFTs, or you have like metadata where you're kind of like what
Alex,
that.
so sorry. Let me kind of jump in a little bit.
Yeah.
So, great work. At this stage, it's not really about the products, to be honest. It's about the expertise of the founder. And hardware is hard. Hardware is not profitable, right? It's just great. So hardware doesn't scale, but hardware helps build cash flow that you can now build something that scales on top of it. But also, I see that you are trying to make it for like homes or something. I think this is perfect for enterprise. So think of things like farms, think of things like battlefield, think of things like logistics, warehousing, right? I think this will be part. I think if you keep working on this, right, for that, over time, or maybe like in farms, maybe it's you won't kind of find out if something is on the soil or something, right? Just I think that's where you're going to find a lot more use case because the beauty of hardware is if the hardware can generate data sets that the software can scale on, right? Uh-huh. Yeah, but Alex, I just want to kind of put that before I forget it.
Okay, all right. So I was just trying to get an information around where you are saving this data, because I'll agree with you. Storing it on chain makes it tamper proof and all that. Also, you also need to check the modes of if you are always periodically like saving this data on chain, is it cost efficient for you? If you are periodically like saving all this data, yes, as I said earlier on, saving it on chain, whether it's cost efficient for you or better off you saving it in the cloud, right, and all that. Maybe the most there is the audit trail of the gadgets. See, okay, when you're issuing the device, you issue an NFT, and all that. So all these things are questions you should just have at the back of your mind, and then check the one that you think is more efficient for you in the long run. And
do now, the audio is battery on the call. Do now.
hello, can you guys hear me? So, but generally, I think is actually like a great product. I can't even wait to see more of the things you actually like do with this.
Okay, thank you very much. I
I
don't know if
don't know if around noisy.
this is
Your mic is on the message. The
can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so concerning how we make use of the Solana, first off, whatever it detects sends it to our server on cloud. Then at the end of the month, it's going to make a list or the record of the whole month, then
Mm,
send it on chain. That's how we um, make it cost efficient because just sending everything each signal is
yeah.
going to be so it's at the month end. Then maybe the user subscribe for a higher version and you cannot make it maybe daily or weekly. That's what we now add our paid features or something like that.
Okay.
Then I think that was the major question you asked.
Yes.
So any other question?
No, no, no. I think it's solid. It's solid. Let's just hear from others.
Okay, thank you very much.
So who is the next person? Also, before you continue, Donald, which department are you in?
Mechatronics engineering.
Oh, perfect.
Okay, we'll have Africa ZK next. If Ben is here, as the next team, please share your screen. Why he's doing that?
All right, please, I'm coming.
The photo right and
Yeah, man.
all.
Um, okay. Please, are you guys seeing my screen? Please, are you guys seeing my screen?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
okay. All right. Okay. All right. So, good evening, everyone. So, my project for this hackathon is actually Africa's ZK, Africa's Zero Knowledge Identity Engine built on Solana. So basically, the verification system in Nigeria is broken. Developers have to store NIN so they can repeated, will I say, continuously keep verifying it again and again for KYC. And then there's also fragmented identity. But now every Nigerian decentralized app can solve this in a way they deem fit. But that's why we came up with this solution, which is you can verify once and you can use it everywhere. Now, this has two meanings to it. We have zero data liability. Now, NIN never leaves the user's device. Through zero knowledge proofs and circuits, we were able to generate proofs that lives or is stored on chain via attestation. We made use of Solana attestation service for this. Then we also have ZK proof, where users generate a cryptographic proof of identity. Then we also built an SDK for developers, which makes it easier for them to, with full documentation, which makes it easier for them to follow up and integrate into their applications. All right, then the stack we used for it was mostly the Second plus Snack.js for our ZK proof. We used Gross 16 plus Poseidon for encryption and EDSA signature, Solana Anchor program for the structure and Solana part. It has been already deployed to DevNet currently. Okay, then so basically the flow is just basically the user enters their NIN, the Doja is verified, the proof is generated and stored in the browser. The Solana attestation makes use of the proof to verify and store it on chain. So now whenever the user decides to log in or enter into that particular D app that they registered or they are trying to KYC into, it just automatically searches their wallet for their attestation and then verifies them. And there is zero NIN storage because on our server we are not making use of any database. So it is basically just for verification purposes, making it easier and faster for use. And then for that is basically it. So for the future, we intend to integrate it for both decentralized applications and centralized applications because it's, as we can see, and due to my research, I can see that it's possible. So it's just a matter of enabling centralized applications to have their own particular identification number for when they want to make use of the infrastructure. Thank you.
So why do you name it Africa ZK? Just
Okay, I named the Africa ZK. Okay, me, I'm a fan of zero knowledge proof, and then it's Africa's first identity engine built on Solana,
okay.
or it will be.
Oh, well, come on, you have to be positive. Either ways.
Yes.
So basically, it only scales when people actually integrate with your product now.
Okay, so let me
Yes.
also kind of add something to this. As much as it's sweet and it's beautiful, African anything doesn't really mean anything. First, do anything doesn't actually mean anything, right? Because that is not market feedback. But like I said, the beautiful thing is that you guys are building really, really interesting stuff. I mean, when we started, when we started Super Team, the very first project we were looking at, we're not even building anything like this,
Yeah.
right? So the quality is multiple layers removed, right? But also there's something that we've come to do lately, which is um, we might have we might have miseducated the Nigerian founder. right? By making Nigerian founders build things that are just great projects but are Western projects, right? Or projects that don't have the expertise to sell. So this is great, right? But as much as it's beautiful for hackathons and everything because you want to build something new, um, the most important thing that we try to do for all our people in Africa is build something that can land you a job so you can actually start making money first, right? And that can come from this same thing you built, right? If there was a company that already has so much money, right, that has APIs or something, you could have built on top of it, right, and make it so good that you land a paid job there. So that, and the reason why we say this is that if you're building projects where you want to go forward and actually make something out of it, the people that vouch for you are more important than how great the project you built is. So take for example, you're building this ZK now. Alex, who's the biggest ZK proof person on Solana?
Mm,
People?
is it, maybe we're talking about the privacy guys like Akim and
Akim. So imagine if you use Akim, right, to now build this thing. When you come out and say X Akim, all of a sudden this same Africa ZK you built now will be 4 times more valuable because it's no longer you that is doing it. It's no longer Uche Chukwu that is doing it. It is an ex Akim employee, right? So that you don't start suffering the same thing that we suffered, right? You move to the very top. So that's I'm super proud of like the first 2 I done the year. Even like on the level, even big past people where I did talk to for hackathon self. Like some technical stuff, yeah, and I love it.
Okay.
Ben, you can
All
say.
right. Thank you. But okay.
Do you have
Okay.
a
Sorry, but please, can I ask? I wanted to ask you.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You can ask the question.
So please, sorry, Sir Usbe, are you saying like that? Is it that I should? I don't know. Is it that I should instead of limiting it to just Africa, I should make it more wider? Or what?
Okay, no, so maybe the question is this. Maybe I jump the gun. Do you want to show the world that you're a very good engineer or do you want to make money?
I want to show the world I'm a good engineer.
Okay, so you can build this one. It will take some crying, Sha, but since you want to be a good engineer, you can actually keep developing this one, right? If you want to make money while being a good engineer, take that knowledge, find a big company that is doing something similar, work for them, so that when you come out and now do this again, it will be like, oh, having worked for Akim, I figure that there's something still fundamentally broken in privacy and ZK, and that's why I'm building this. You get the point? It sounds entirely different, but it's an amazing project. Like, I mean, like, there's a lot of data sets in Africa that nobody is like almost all the money in Africa is in the formal market, and informal market is basically based on a whole lot of data nobody can access, right? If you can do ZK on top of all those things, it's amazing, it's fantastic.
All right. So I think everything is just spot on, to be honest. So the main thing is if you actually like want to get closer to the whole conversation or what's we trying to say, as you have this tech, most of the thing you do is to, what are these technologies that you think will get you closer to these people that we are talking about? So you could look at maybe how you could actually use Acume or use Umbra or you use some of these privacy protocols that we think will get more closer to the door, which is getting closer when you work with the applications or work with their product. I say, oh, I think I like what the person is building. Let him come work for us. Try experimenting with their project. Look for some things that are very interesting with what they are doing and implement it inside what you are building. then I think that's how it works. So, but generally, I kind of like what you're building. The only bias I had was when you called it Africa ZK. I think there are other interesting names again, to be honest. But I understand your students. I remember when we actually built during I think that was like Google Summer of something like that when I was doing then. One of our first projects was fast crash and all that. Think about it right now. I kind of miss that. So, but yeah, that's
Okay, all right. Thank you so much.
yeah, you're welcome.
Okay, we'll have the next team. We'll have team Futo Ride. We'll have Alta and Futo Ride. Yeah.
Wait, can you guys hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
good.
we can.
Okay, I'm coming. I just want to share my screen. Okay.
If you're talking, we can't hear you now.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. So, my name is Junibo, and me and my partner Kamsi, we are building Futurite. So, it's an app, e-hailing app for web on Solana, basing it on Solana. But the main thing we actually come to see is that in Futo in particular, we have seen some kind of security gap. We've also seen that students to get to class from school, there's always this rush hour scramble. When they get to the bus stop, there are not buses. There's a price haggle. Um, Before now, even as of now, the transport architecture is Okada. So before you have to get to school, you have to climb an Okada, go, get through every hassle and. And the main issue with that one was that there was a security block. There was a security problem in between those. As of now, Nigeria is actually not like the best place to be as of right now, and security is actually now at an utmost paramount. So, gratefully, thankfully, the student union government, as of next semester, is actually being put into session now. They are bringing the Futu Keke. Uh, so the Futo Keke was meant to ease the stress of students. So mostly the main thing of Futo Keke was to ease the price haggling with Okadas there. But now we at Futo, we saw that there was a gap, there was a need for a bridge between the students and that Futo Keke. So that is why we built Futo Ride. So what does Futo Ride actually do? It's an e-hailing app where you can actually hail Keke, pay for Keke digitally on Solana, track buses, and also stay safe. Um, what are the modes? There's the Keke on demand, and then there's the bus switching. So the Keke is actually, as you can see, you can share 4 seats from the pickup, put where you want to get from and where you are going, pay for seats, check it before you book, and then there's also the bus. So for now, there's just the one on demand is Futo Keke. The bus is you can actually just check the routes, but you can't actually book anything on buses because there's no like central agency to check it. But Futo Keke is our main starting point because there's the SUG. So the SUG is like our central hub where we can use to checkmate everything. The SUG, so that's where the security, everything goes back to the SUG. So moving on, when you actually get into the keke, you can actually book a ride. The driver can accept rides, just like Uber, but we actually took it a step further. So coming down, you can scan the ride, just pay, scan with your QR, will drop out. There's zero fraud, zero need for price haggling, just the and then we have the AI powered SMS. So this is our main selling point actually, security architecture. So if there's at any point the student feels like he's threatened or he feels like there's a security situation going on, there's an SOS. So you just go on the app and tap on the SOS, and your exact location and ride details are immediately sent to the SUG center. So the SUG has security on ground. So what we have seen in matter of security before, before there used to be manual for security system, but as of early this semester, there was a situation, so there are no more manuals in Futo. So I think the security is now low. There is no security personnel. So we at Futo, right, are helping the security personnel get in touch with it. So we are the hands. We are the eyes and the ears for students to the SG security system. So and also we made it even more easier with a gesture. So you can just press the up and down button of the app, and then an SOS is sent with a letter. So the AI smart checks check if the time, the location, the context, how critical it is, so that to manage manpower. If it's at night, that okay, this is very, very critical. Please send help as fast as you can. So the go straight to alert, Telegram alerts. The alerts lands on the SG system. So on Solana, we'll be talking on Solana. So I will actually let my partner talk on that. My partner council talk on what Solana does, why we are building on Solana, and the very, very big packages we have for this app. Council.
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
So our personal integration is partner. So think of it like our Naira to crypto bridge. So partner is basically a Naira payment provider that converts Nigerian payment provider rather that converts Naira to stable coin. So basically students paid in Naira, we convert to USDC on the Solana chain and then send to our treasury. Then the
So,
next
well, can you like pause before you continue? Why will you have to convert your naira to USDC?
Yeah, I'm getting there. Like it's for something related
Are
to
you sure
PDU.
you're getting the?
Yes, I'm literally getting it.
Okay.
So the second integration is a Privy. So Privy gives every student or a driver a self-custodial Solana wallet at sign up. So no seed phrase, just email. So now a driver can choose to withdraw his or earnings through the wallet. Then finally, our last Solana integration is the treasury. So it's basically a PD hook. So it works more like an insurance. So let's say after every ride is completed, we take 5% of that money. So let's say the user pays in Naira, we then convert to USDC and then collect our 5% and store in our vault. So now what that vault does, let's say a driver has some issues with his keke or maybe something happens. So it's more like an insurance for that keke. You just need to actually send images of what happened, like if it's tire posted or something, then we approve the payment from the road. So
This is
that's it.
basically Trikey. It's a business we built in the very early days that one of the smartest founders, they even went as low as designing the hardware to do solve a bigger problem with bigger money than this one, which is theft, right? Theft is a bigger money than what you're trying to solve, right? Because people that you get kidnapped will steal from it. So SUG, people are still going to run them this thing, but the market is too small to make any money from it. But great idea, at least it's something good. You're actually starting. It's just that there's actually no money. So because we're Africans, I always try to get people to understand that any if you fall into the trap of startup, you're going to spend 3 years of your life not making revenue, not having a job, just buying a dream, right? And that is not what we want for our people, right? We want you to build something that is so great that you can land a very great job and now give yourself time to say to yourself, do I really want to do this sort of thing? Or do I actually want to be like an amazing engineer, an amazing programmer?
Okay, sir. On the part of the market being small, I am trying to like get more insight on that, because as of now, there's at least more than 7,000 photo students in photo. So I actually feel like we can actually scale up to other universities, because there's a lot of universities in Nigeria. So is it the market being too small because it's just for students, or I actually don't understand that part. As of now, we take from five, because there's actually a priority fee, there's a surge. So when maybe there's a lot of people around the particular area, we take a priority fee. I think
Bro,
of 100
let me
naira.
let me ask you a very simple question.
Yes, sir.
This thing you're saying now, right? People
Yes, sir.
for Futo, they enter bold for such.
No, really.
They don't enter bold for such, but they can enter care for such. Now, chairman, listen to what they talk now. If they don't enter bold for such,